Hey there, ready to dive into some eye-opening truths? Ever wonder why some women seem to have it all figured out, while the rest of us are still trying to make sense of this crazy world? Well, buckle up, because we're about to explore the fascinating world of Sigma females and the lies they've managed to see right through. These aren't your average ladies, they're the ones who march to the beat of their own drum, and have a knack for spotting societal BS from a mile away. So, let's get started with our deep dive into 10 common lies society believes that Sigma females see through. Have you ever felt like something just doesn't add up in the way society tells us to live our lives? Well, you're not alone. There's a group of women out there who've been quietly observing, analyzing, and calling out the inconsistencies in our social fabric. They're known as Sigma females, and they've got a thing or two to teach us about breaking free from societal expectations. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is a Sigma female? Think of her as the lone wolf of the female world, independent, self-reliant, and not afraid to challenge the status quo. These women have a unique perspective on life, and they've managed to see through some of the most persistent lies that society tries to sell us. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's unpack these lies one by one. Who knows? By the end of this, you might just find yourself questioning everything you thought you knew about success, happiness, and what it means to be a woman in today's world. 1. You need a man to be complete. Let's kick things off with a real doozy, shall we? How many times have you heard that old chestnut about needing a man to feel whole or complete? It's like society's got this weird obsession with pairing everyone off, as if being single is some kind of disease that needs curing. But here's the thing: Sigma females have long since called BS on this one. They know that true completeness comes from within, not from latching onto someone else. These women understand that personal growth, self-discovery, and inner peace are the real keys to feeling fulfilled. Don't get me wrong, relationships can be great. They can add value to your life and bring joy and companionship. But they're not the be-all and end-all of existence. Sigma females know that they're perfectly capable of living rich, fulfilling lives on their own terms. They're not sitting around waiting for Prince Charming to ride in on his white horse and complete them. Instead, they're out there slaying their own dragons, climbing their own mountains, and writing their own happily ever afters. So, the next time someone tries to tell you that you're not complete without a partner, just remember you're about as useful as a chocolate teapot. These women understand that success is as unique as a fingerprint. What lights one person up might bore another to tears. For some, success might mean climbing the corporate ladder. For others, it could be starting their own business, traveling the world, or dedicating their lives to a cause they're passionate about. Sigma females have figured out that true success, not a jigsaw puzzle missing a piece. You're a whole damn masterpiece all on your own. 2. Success looks the same for everyone. All right. Let's talk about success. Society's got this one-size-fits-all idea of what it means to be successful, doesn't it? It's like there's this invisible checklist floating around: get a high-paying job, buy a big house, drive a fancy car, have 2.5 kids, and boom, you've made it. But Sigma females? They're not buying it. They've seen right through this narrow definition of success and realized it isn't about ticking boxes or meeting someone else's expectations. It's about living a life that aligns with your values, pursues your passions, and brings you genuine satisfaction. They're not afraid to take the road less traveled or to define success on their own terms. Maybe for them, success is having the freedom to work from anywhere in the world. Or perhaps it's creating art that speaks to people's souls. Heck, it could even be mastering the art of baking the perfect souffle. The point is, Sigma females have rejected the cookie-cutter approach to success. They know that life isn't a race or a competition. It's a journey, and everyone's path is different. So, they're out there blazing their own trails, defining success for themselves, and encouraging others to do the same. Remember, at the end of the day, the only person who can truly judge your success is you. So why not make it something that actually matters to you? 3. Beauty is one size fits all. Oh boy, here's a big one. Society's been feeding us this lie for so long it's practically become part of our DNA. You know the drill: you've got to be tall, skinny, have flawless skin, perfect hair, and look like you just stepped off a magazine cover. Anything less, and you're just not beautiful, right? Wrong. Sigma females have seen right through this narrow, cookie-cutter definition of beauty. They've realized that beauty isn't about fitting into some predetermined mold, it's about embracing what makes you unique. These women understand that beauty comes in all shapes, sizes, colors, and forms. They know that the freckle society tells you to cover up. They're constellations on your skin. Those curves that don't fit the ideal body type. They're the beautiful landscapes of your body. The wrinkles that show up as you age. They're the map of a life well lived. Sigma females have figured out that true beauty isn't about conforming to society's standards, it's about being comfortable in your own skin and letting your inner light shine through. They know that confidence, kindness, and authenticity are far more attractive than any physical attribute. They're not falling for the tricks of the beauty industry, constantly telling us we need this cream or that treatment to be beautiful. Instead, they're celebrating their unique features, their so-called flaws, and encouraging others to do the same. These women have realized that diversity is what makes the world beautiful. Can you imagine how boring it would be if everyone looked the same? It'd be like living in a world of clones. So, the next time you find yourself critiquing your appearance based on some arbitrary standard, remember what Sigma females know: you're not meant to fit in, you're meant to stand out. Your beauty is as unique as your fingerprint, and that's something to be celebrated, not changed. 4. You can't have a career and a family. Here's another whopper that society's been peddling for years: the idea that women have to choose between having a successful career and a fulfilling family life. It's like we're stuck in some kind of weird time warp where it's still the 1950s. But guess what? Sigma females aren't buying it. They've seen right through this outdated notion and recognized it for what it is: a false dichotomy designed to keep women in a box. These women understand that life isn't an either-or situation. They know it's possible to be a kick-ass professional and a loving parent. Is it easy? Heck no. But then again, nothing worth having ever is. Sigma females have figured out that the key isn't choosing between career and family, but finding a balance that works for them. They're masters of time management, prioritization, and knowing when to ask for help. They're not afraid to challenge traditional gender roles or to have those tough conversations with their partners about sharing responsibilities. They know that having it all doesn't mean doing it all by themselves. These women are rewriting the rules of what it means to be successful in both their professional and personal lives. They're showing the world that you can close that big deal at work and still make it home in time for family dinner. They're proving that being a parent doesn't mean putting your ambitions on hold. In fact, many Sigma females find that motherhood gives them a new perspective and drive in their careers. But here's the real kicker: Sigma females also know that it's okay if you don't want both. If you're all about your career and don't want kids, that's cool. If you'd rather focus on raising a family than climbing the corporate ladder, that's fine too. The point is, it's your choice. So, the next time someone tries to tell you that you can't have a career and a family, just remember Sigma females are out there every day proving that you can. And even more importantly, they're showing that you get to define what success looks like in both areas of your life. 5. You need to be outgoing to be successful. Alright, let's tackle another big myth that society loves to push: the idea that you need to be a social butterfly to make it in this world. You know, the whole, it's not what you know, it's who you know spiel. According to this logic, if you're not out there networking 24/7, shaking hands and being the life of every party, you're basically doomed to failure. But guess what? Sigma females have seen right through this extrovert-centric nonsense. They know that success isn't about how many business cards you can collect at a networking event or how many small-talk conversations you can juggle at a cocktail party. These women understand that there's power in being introspective, in taking the time to think deeply and work independently. They know that some of the most successful people in history were introverts who preferred solitude to socializing. Sigma females have figured out that it's not about being the loudest voice in the room, but about having something valuable to say when you do speak up. They've realized that quality connections are far more important than quantity. They're not afraid to embrace their introverted tendencies. In fact, they use them to their advantage. While others are busy making small talk, Sigma females are observing, analyzing, and coming up with innovative ideas. These women have learned to network on their own terms. They might prefer one-on-one conversations to large group settings. They might choose to connect with people online rather than at crowded events. And you know what? That's perfectly okay. Sigma females understand that success comes in many forms, and not all of them require being a social butterfly. They know that skills like critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity are just as valuable as being able to work a room. So the next time someone tells you that you need to put yourself out there more to be successful, remember what Sigma females know: true success comes from being authentic to yourself, whether that means being the life of the party or preferring the peace of your own company. 6. Women are too emotional for leadership roles. Oh boy, here's a doozy that's been floating around for far too long. You've probably heard it in one form or another: women are too emotional, too sensitive, too irrational to be effective leaders. It's like society's stuck in some bizarre time warp where women are still seen as hysterical creatures ruled by their hormones. But guess what? Sigma females have called BS on this one, and they're not afraid to say it. They've seen right through this outdated sexist notion and recognized it for what it is: a weak excuse to keep women out of positions of power. These women understand that emotions aren't a weakness, they're a strength. They know that empathy, emotional intelligence, and the ability to connect with others are crucial leadership skills. In fact, some of the most effective leaders are those who can understand and manage not just their own emotions, but those of their team as well. Sigma females have figured out that being in touch with your emotions doesn't make you weak or irrational. It makes you human. And last time I checked, we're leading humans, not robots. They're not buying into the idea that leadership is all about being tough, unemotional, and detached. They know that true leadership is about inspiring others, fostering teamwork, and creating an environment where everyone can thrive. These women are redefining what leadership looks like. They're showing that you can be strong and sensitive, decisive and empathetic, confident and vulnerable. They're proving that these aren't mutually exclusive traits, but complementary ones that make for well-rounded, effective leaders. Sigma females aren't afraid to bring their whole selves to their leadership roles, emotions and all. They know that authenticity is far more inspiring than trying to fit into some outdated, masculine ideal of what a leader should be. So, the next time someone tries to tell you that women are too emotional for leadership roles, remember what Sigma females know: emotions aren't a liability, they're an asset. And anyone who can't see that is probably not someone you want to be taking leadership advice from anyway. 7. You need to compete with other women to succeed. Here's another whopper that society's been feeding us for years: the idea that women need to compete with each other to get ahead. It's like we're all supposed to be in some kind of twisted reality show where there's only room for one woman at the top. But Sigma females? They've seen right through this divisive nonsense. They know that the whole "there can only be one" mentality is just another way to keep women fighting each other instead of the real barriers to their success. These women understand that other women aren't their competition, they're their allies. They know that when women support each other, amazing things happen. It's not about pulling others down to climb up, it's about lifting each other as we rise. Sigma females have figured out that collaboration beats competition any day of the week. They're not afraid to share their knowledge, offer support, or celebrate the successes of other women. They know that another woman's success doesn't diminish their own; if anything, it paves the way for more women to follow. They're not buying into the catty, backstabbing stereotypes that media loves to portray. Instead, they're building networks, mentoring younger women, and creating spaces where all women can thrive. These women are rewriting the rules of success. They're showing that it's possible to be ambitious without being cutthroat, to be successful without stepping on others. They're proving that there's enough room at the top for all of us. Sigma females aren't afraid to reach out and ask for help when they need it, and they're always ready to lend a hand to others. They know that by supporting each other, we all become stronger. So, the next time someone tries to pit you against another woman, remember what Sigma females know: we're all in this together. The real competition isn't other women, it's the outdated systems and beliefs that try to hold us back. And that's a battle we're much better equipped to fight when we stand united. 8. You need to have it all figured out by 30. Ah, the big 30. Society's got us believing it's some kind of magical deadline, doesn't it? By 30, you're supposed to have the perfect career, be married with kids, or at least have that all planned out, own a home, and basically have your entire life sorted. Anything less, and you're somehow behind. But guess what? Sigma females have seen right through this arbitrary timeline nonsense. They know that life doesn't come with a universal schedule, and success isn't a race with an age limit. These women understand that everyone's journey is different. They know that some people might find their passion at 22, while others might have a complete career change at 45, and that's perfectly okay. Sigma females have figured out that life is about growth and evolution, not about ticking boxes by a certain age. They're not afraid to take detours, try new things, or completely reinvent themselves at any age. They're not buying into the pressure to have it all figured out by a certain birthday. Instead, they're embracing the journey, learning from their experiences, and staying open to new opportunities. These women are redefining what it means to be successful at any age. They're showing that it's never too late to chase your dreams, change your mind, or start over. They're proving that life's too short to live by someone else's timeline. Sigma females aren't afraid to take their time, to explore different paths, to make mistakes and learn from them. They know that every experience, good or bad, is a chance to grow and discover more about themselves. So, the next time someone tries to make you feel bad for not having it all figured out by a certain age, Remember what Sigma females know: life is a journey, not a race. Your path is your own, and the only timeline that matters is the one you set for yourself. 9. Self-care is selfish. Here's another whopper that society loves to throw at us, especially at women: the idea that taking care of yourself is somehow selfish or indulgent. It's like we're expected to be these self-sacrificing martyrs, always putting everyone else's needs before our own. But Sigma females? They've seen right through this self-destructive mindset. They know that self-care isn't selfish, it's essential. These women understand that you can't pour from an empty cup. They know that taking care of themselves isn't just about bubble baths and face masks, although those are nice too. It's about maintaining their physical, mental, and emotional well-being so they can show up as their best selves in all areas of their lives. Sigma females have figured out that self-care is actually one of the most selfless things you can do. By taking care of themselves, they're ensuring they have the energy and capacity to care for others and pursue their goals. They're not buying into the guilt trip that society tries to lay on women who prioritize their own needs. Instead, they're setting boundaries, saying no to things that drain them, and unapologetically making time for the things that recharge them. These women are redefining what self-care looks like. They know it can be different for everyone. Maybe it's a morning meditation practice, a weekly gym session, or simply setting aside time to read a good book. They're showing that self-care isn't about being selfish, it's about being smart and sustainable. Sigma females aren't afraid to prioritize their own well-being. They know that by taking care of themselves, they're setting a positive example for others and creating a ripple effect of healthier, happier people around them. They understand that self-care isn't just about treating yourself, it's about respecting yourself. It's about recognizing your own worth and honoring your needs. And let's face it, when you're running on empty, you're not much use to anyone, are you? So, the next time someone tries to make you feel guilty for taking care of yourself, remember what Sigma females know: self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. It's not a luxury. It's a fundamental part of living a balanced, fulfilling life. And anyone who tries to tell you otherwise probably needs to do a bit of self-care themselves. 10. You need to follow a traditional life path to be happy. Last but definitely not least, let's talk about this whopper of a lie that society's been feeding us for generations. You know the drill: graduate high school, go to college, get a steady job, get married, buy a house, have kids, work until retirement, and then finally start enjoying life. It's like there's this pre-written script that we're all supposed to follow to achieve happiness. But guess what? Sigma females have seen right through this one-size-fits-all approach to life. They know that happiness isn't a destination you reach by following a prescribed path, it's a journey that looks different for everyone. These women understand that life isn't a straight line. They know that it's okay to take detours, to change direction, to forge your own path. They've figured out that true happiness comes from living authentically, not from ticking boxes on someone else's checklist. Sigma females aren't afraid to question the status quo. They're asking themselves the big questions: what do I really want? What makes me truly happy? What kind of life do I want to create for myself? And they're brave enough to act on the answers, even if they go against societal norms. They're not buying into the idea that there's only one way to live a fulfilling life. Instead, they're embracing their uniqueness and creating lives that align with their personal values and dreams. These women are rewriting the rules of what a happy, successful life looks like. Maybe for them, it's traveling the world instead of settling down in one place. Perhaps it's pursuing a passion project instead of climbing the corporate ladder. Or maybe it's choosing to be child-free and focusing on their career or personal growth. Sigma females know that happiness isn't about meeting other people's expectations, it's about being true to yourself. They're not afraid to make unconventional choices if those choices bring them joy and fulfillment. They understand that life is too short and too precious to live it according to someone else's rules. They're showing us that it's okay to color outside the lines, to write your own story, to dance to the beat of your own drum. So, the next time someone tries to tell you that you need to follow a certain path to be happy, remember what Sigma females know: there are as many paths to happiness as there are people in this world. Your job isn't to follow someone else's path, it's to create your own. Conclusion. And there you have it, folks: 10 common lies that society tries to sell us, and how Sigma females see right through them. It's pretty eye-opening when you lay it all out like this, isn't it? These women, these Sigma females, they're not just rebels without a cause. They're trailblazers, truth-seekers, and game-changers. They're the ones who dare to question the status quo, who have the courage to live life on their own terms. But here's the thing: you don't have to call yourself a Sigma female to learn from their wisdom. The real takeaway here is about thinking critically, questioning societal norms, and having the courage to live authentically. It's about recognizing that you have the power to define success, beauty, and happiness for yourself. It's about understanding that your worth isn't determined by your relationship status, your age, or how well you fit into society's mold. So, the next time you find yourself buying into one of these societal lies, take a step back. Ask yourself, is this really true? Is this what I really believe? Or am I just going along with it because that's what I've been told I should do? Remember, life isn't about meeting other people's expectations. It's about creating a life that's true to you, that brings you joy and fulfillment. It's about writing your own story, not following someone else's script. And if you ever find yourself doubting your path, just think of these Sigma females. Think of their courage, their wisdom, their unwillingness to settle for anything less than a life lived on their own terms. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, having the courage to be uniquely, unapologetically you. And if that's not worth fighting for, I don't know what is. So go on, challenge those societal norms. Question those long-held beliefs, and most importantly, dare to live life your way. Because that, my friends, is where true happiness and fulfillment lie. And who knows? Maybe one day people will be talking about the lies in society that you helped to expose. Now, wouldn't that be something?